Hi and welcome to Belinda from Hello Resonance. I did share with you last week that I was going to be writing a 24-hour Meridian Journey work healing session. I did it for a client the other week and it was absolutely phenomenal, and there were so many things that actually came into my awareness that I just actually thought we all need to have this done. It's so profound and it's so deep, and it's very, very important for us to keep our meridians in a state of ease and flow and correction. So I'm just going to, some of you might not know what meridians are, but I'm counting on a lot of you do know, because I know that a lot of you have asked me to add you to this 24-hour Meridian healing session. So basically, let me give you the outlines of what let me explain to you what I'm going to do and also what meridians are. So meridians are channels that exist within our body. They are unseen. They're not seen like a vein, but they actually behave like a vein. They transport energy, chi, throughout the body. They transfer it up and down the body, supporting absolutely every aspect of cell rejuvenation, formation within your body. So the meridians are all associated to different parts of the body and different organs and different systems. So by running your meridians and keeping those channels clear, you facilitate a healthier body on all levels. So your meridians run in a 24-hour clock cycle, and every 2 hours your meridians will come online, and they will always come online at that time within your body. So I'm going to be running the 14 meridians. There are 12 meridians, and there's 2 vessels, your conception vessel and your governing vessel, which are yin and yang. You do have meridians that are yin, and you also have meridians that are yang, and they are paired. So the 12 are paired into 6, and then you have these 2 vessels that are also paired, and those 2, the governing and the conception, really form that yin yang symbol of flow and representation of the one supporting the other. So you also have meridians that will do the same thing. So I'm going to I'll start working with the conception vessel and the governing vessel first. I will then follow a sequence around the clock of the meridians, and I will finish off with the conception and governing vessels. Because when all the other meridians are in a state of flow, that is how we balance the conception and governing vessels. And the conception and governing vessels are the energy lines that actually form within the first few seconds of our conception. It's actually the conception vessel and the governing vessel that starts to form as the embryo splits, and from your governing vessel, your actual spine produces itself from the energy of the governing vessel, and your nervous system is created from the chi, or the energy that is created in this amazing whirlpool of creation. So those 2 are why they actually sit together so beautifully, and everything feeds off. So I've looked at this, and I'm going to go from bladder meridian all the way around to bladder meridian. And I quite like that, because when working, I've shown some of you that I'm doing these cards to support it. I don't know how many of you will actually look at the cards, but they are very fascinating, very interesting. You'll get a lot more out of it if you would go and look at the cards. But I know that essentially not everybody wants to participate on such levels. Some people are just happy to say, Belinda, I know you, I know the work you do. Yes, run my meridians for 24 hours. All I want to do is be in the healing bowl, and I want you to do whatever it is you do and tell me when you're complete. Okay, yes, you can participate at that level. That's absolutely awesome if you wish to do that. If you wish to go a little bit deeper, you want to look at the cards that I send. I'm actually going to send them all in one go. I'm not going to send them every 2 hours, over 24 hours. You don't want me pinging you at 11 and 1 in the morning. So I ain't going to do that. You'll get them all. But if you do have some sort of sensation or overwhelming tiredness or euphoria, look at the time and then go and see what meridian that related to. That would be interesting. Maybe you'll see some in-balance systems and out-of-balance systems that were very applicable. I've chosen to start with the bladder meridian, which starts from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And I'm going to run it twice. I'm going to start with it, do the 24-hour cycle, and I'm going to finish redoing it, because the bladder meridian is so instrumental in our intake and outtake of flow of life, and what we hold on to and what we release. So, and what we gift and what we receive. So there's a lot of connection, and a lot of you that have been working with me, we've been working on those concepts. So I want to run it twice because I'm literally clearing it so I can have free reign with all the other meridians. And then I'm going to finish with it, because then it's had all the other meridians clocking in and correcting themselves, that it just allows that whole whoosh to actually take place. And obviously every 24 hours, you're going to get an incremental upgrade on each day, because as those meridians clear even more, the more you have free flow. Because I'm sure a lot of you know that if you have a meridian that's deficient or depleted, it has a knock-on effect to the meridian after it. And so the meridian that is slacking the most might actually not be the one that's creating all the disturbance. It could be one prior, but it's showing up in a liver meridian, but it's actually the predecessor to it. So I'm going to clear it all that way. Now I've got yin and yang forks, okay, so which are specifically for the conception vessel and the governing vessel. So I'm going to specifically use those to clear, and I'm also going to use them as my placeholders for every single. I've actually got meridian charts here, okay, which I'm going to work off. So I'm going to work with the yin and the yang as placeholders on this bladder meridian, and then I'm going to take your bladder meridian. Okay, let's see how we're doing there. Let's turn it. So, okay, your bladder meridian. I'm going to take it because I'm going to work with the bladder meridian, and I'm going to place it into the container. All your names will be in this container as well as a collective, and I'm going to place it, and then I'm going to take my placeholders, and I'm going to, so we're going to start at the top, and I'm actually going to run the whole meridian with my yang to clear all the yang disturbance and correct it. And then I will take the yin, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the full set of Solfeggios. These Solfeggios have very purposeful, direct frequencies that literally obliterate certain components that we hold within our bodies. So I'm going to be very instrumental with these. So then there's 9 here. So I'm actually going to run this bladder meridian 9 times with its specific frequency. So you will have each meridian, except for the bladder, that will be run 18 times, and so will the conception and governing vessel. That will also be run 18 times because I do it at the beginning and at the end. So all the others will be run, so it's going to be the 9 plus the 2, okay? So they're all going to be run over within a 2-hour framework. So bladder runs for 2 hours. I'll sit at the 3 o'clock p.m. mark, and I will start my procession with these forks clearing that meridian. I'll leave it in place, and then when we hit the 5 o'clock mark, I will move on to the next meridian. I will take that next meridian card and I will place it into the grid, and I'll then activate, clear, anchor, align, and activate that meridian and work precisely through each one, instrumentally and methodically through each one. And should there be a collective glitch on some points, then I will go to my reference book and I might do something different if there is a collective healing required in that section. I just want to check if I've mentioned everything on this journey. So another thing to look at with this meridian, they consider it as a second electrical system. So by working on it, you're almost bypassing the nerves and the blood, and you are now working from an energetic level to bring correction and stability into the body. Let's have another look. What else? Okay, so I wanted to take some examples why we work on certain on the meridians and why I'm choosing the Solfeggio. So, for example, let's say we're looking at the lung meridian. The relationship, the lung and the large intestine are a pair. They're in a relationship with one another. So they are out of balance. So let's say the out of balance, there's quite a few symptoms of out of balance. You'll see that on the cards. Let's just pick one. We're going to look at low self-esteem. So when I take my tuning forks for the lung meridian on low self-esteem, for example, we're going to take, I'll do the 174. That will be healing a specific item, but 285, I've just tried to match them so you can see 285, creating positive influence on the energy field. If somebody's got low self-esteem, they do not have a positive energy field, and we want to bring correction and take the negativity out of the energy field, and we want to place it with positive energy. 369, transforming negative into positive. You can see how if we take a low self-esteem, we want to coerce it into a high self-esteem. 417, creating the ability to facilitate change. So we correct it, but we want to enable the lung meridian with self-esteem to keep on correcting itself, that it can always facilitate change. It can always come back to its correctional point. Remove subconscious blockages. You can have low self-esteem because of certain things that you believe about yourself and they're essentially not true. So it's to remove subconscious blockages, remove negative thought behavior to positive patterns. Okay, you can see how that will also work very well with low self-esteem. And dissolves energy blocks. 528 is a frequency of transformation. So we want to transform your low self-esteem into a higher self-esteem. And it also aids specifically, 528, specifically aids in self-confidence and self-esteem. So there are these folks do very specific things. And when we're running it in that meridian that has that out of balance condition, we can be very instrumental and very specific on how we can correct that and bring cure into the body. So that was one example. So that was more like self-esteem is more of a mental and an emotional kind of package. Might even be spiritual. But let's choose I can still carry on. Okay, let's carry on with let's carry on with the self-esteem. 639, okay, resolving relationship problems. If you have low self-esteem, you actually have a dysfunctional relationship with yourself. And we want to change that. We want you to see how you are this incredible being that was brought here to out-create yourself and to not have a low self-esteem, to have high self-esteem, because you were made in such high regard and in the form of the creator. So that is when you have a misalignment with understanding that relationship, you're going to have a low self-esteem with everything that you do, and that is relationship involving. Okay. How are we going? 14 minutes. Okay. 714, purifies mind and body. So clearing those patterns of low self-esteem. And then 963, they do lots of things. I'm just choosing one specific thing because I'd spend hours going through this. Reconnects you to source, so it helps you realize that you are from divine source creator, and there's no ways that something of this magnitude has low self-esteem and would create anything that wasn't absolutely awesome. and reconnects you to your environment. Okay, so when you are reconnected back into your environment, you have self-worth, you have self-trust, you have self-love, your self-esteem arises. Okay, so let's go to our physical ailments. So we look at the pericardium and the triple warmer meridian relationship, the physical, on a physical level. So let's say these are the issues that people will have with an impaired or out of balance relationship between pericardium and the triple warmer. Weakened immune system, allergies, slow wound healing, repeated infections, constant fatigue, psoriasis. There are others, but I'm just choosing a few. So you think about repeated infections. If you've got a bladder meridian issue and you've got this one that's also a little bit dysfunctional, it's where you get repeated infections. So you've got to clear the two. So the forks will assist with, let's just choose those physical ailments. So with a weakened immune system, 174 releases pain and stress. So when you have a weakened immune system, you're always in pain, you're always in stress. It also heals tissues and organs. Your tissues and organs are impaired. And repairs cells and cellular rejuvenation. So of course, if you've got an impaired immune system or it's low, you want a frequency that's going to bump those cell frequencies out of that. So you're no longer in pain, you're no longer stressing about it, you're healing the tissues and organs surrounding the autoimmune issue or the immune issue, and you want the cellular rejuvenation. Let's move on to allergies. Okay, allergies, releasing pain and stress. A lot of us know that allergies is because we have a sensitive body type and we're not actually coping very well, and we are irritated by things and we get highly incensed by issues around us in our environment. Okay, so that will help. This 174 helps with the healing tissues and organs. 285 is tissues and organs, cellular repair. 639, resolving relationship problems. Often allergies are related to relationship problems. I'm drinking dairy and my body does not have a good relationship with dairy. Okay, so yeah, you might call me out by that we shouldn't be drinking dairy. I'm just using it as an easiest example. Okay. Slow healing, repeated infections, 174. Going to release the pain and stress associated to the slow wound and the infections, healing tissues and organs, cellular rejuvenation. We need that. Okay. Constant fatigue. Okay, we will have constant fatigue, especially if our meridians are not accessing the chi and the energy that is actually available to them, because we're having knock-on effects. We have got sleeping disorders, we are highly anxious and nervous, we are ill, we have work-related problems. All of these are going to impact the meridians. And so let's group it as constant fatigue. We're going to work with the tuning forks, releasing pain and stress, healing the organs and tissue, cellular rejuvenation, liberating ourselves from guilt, fear, and anxiety. Okay, reducing, and 528 is a reducing stress hormone. So people who are fatigued are obviously on a little hamster wheel, and they're running, and they're just creating all this stress and this tiredness because they can't get out of the framework or the situation they're in, and they tire themselves out. They create fatigue. Adrenaline junkies will create fatigue. People who also need a whole lot of caffeine or drink all the monster drinks, they are creating fatigue within their body because they are over adrenalizing their adrenals, and it's got to dump somewhere in the body. If we fix the meridians where we can help them clear out that adrenal fatigue and the adrenal overdumping and help them crave those things less, because the yin tuning fork is specifically also frequency for addictions. So by doing that, we're now going to work on all the addictions associated to each one of the meridians. And the yang is actually very directly related to heart-centered consciousness. So we're going to be working with heart-centered consciousness to bring that love back through our body. All right. Psoriasis is another irritation one. The people who suffer psoriasis have a lot of relationship issues because their body doesn't like a particular fragrance, or can't eat a particular substance, can't be around certain trees, so they're highly sensitive. And there's a whole lot of tuning forks. Like I said, I've mentioned them numerous times, how they will assist. But psoriasis, you get stressed and you'll get a skin reaction of psoriasis, and that creates a traumatic pattern. There's a tuning fork that I can undo that with that frequency. I can reduce the stress hormone with it, and also significantly reduce stress in the endocrine and the nervous system, when we know that that's where all these skin issues are coming from, is from those departments, and we can work with it. So I'm not just working with the actual frequency, I'm actually finding another route to access it and to create the correct channel and the correct frequency within that channel. So everything that runs through that channel, I'm affecting instrumentally. Excuse the pun, with an instrument, a key. Okay, and let's see, clearing the perceptions of low self. Yes, okay, and then yeah, so that is where, okay, awakening. Now the high end ones are more spiritual and emotional ones that will work on those levels. Not everybody's ready for that, but I'm still going to run it, and it's going to shift you on those levels. So for example, 963, if we were working with weakened immune system, awakens any system to, 963 awakens any system to its original perfect state. Don't we want that? Of course, we all want any system that we have on in our bodies. We want it to come back online, and we want it to be functioning at its best, highest potential, in order for us to move through our day on a daily basis and through the months and the years, and for us to interact. So all of this is about relationship with ourselves, is going to affect relationships beyond ourselves. I do see with this client that I worked on, that I am still seeing, even though I did it over a week ago, that I am still seeing daily changes as those meridians are clocking around. And just seeing that person really come back to life, yes, and still having all the challenges and maybe even more challenges, but they're now not hiding under the covers anymore. They're actually getting up and they're facing those challenges and they're ticking those boxes. And I wasn't sure if that was going to actually be possible in the situation they'd gotten themselves in. So it was awesome to actually see the turnaround. So this is what I am anticipating, is what I'm calling in, and it's the intention that I'm going to hold when I do this session. I am going to be calling this in. We need to be at our optimal online version of ourselves. We need to be up to speed. There are things coming our way, and we need to be in our bodies and functioning so we can actually take on any of the stuff that is coming through whatever layer, dimension, rhyme or reason or institution. Okay, we are not going to be prey to things that are going on in our environment. We are going to utilize this amazing system that we grew ourselves as we were conceived. We took charge and we started growing it, and we started formulating these amazing beings. And we are going to come online and we're going to use them. No longer are we going to sit back and just allow ourselves to be defenseless when we are sitting with all the armor and all the ability to actually own and be whole in our lives. Okay, so as you can see, very passionate about this. I have got surmountable amount of information with each of these, but essentially healing is not all about the information. Healing is about receiving it and accepting it and implementing it into the body and allowing it to integrate and work its way out. So essentially that's what you need from me at the end of the day. You need me to be holding the space and performing my duty. I've got an understanding of it. I know where I want to go. I know what I want to bring into people's bodies and how to correct it. I have a knowing on how to do that, and that's what I want to do. And I want all of you to be whole and healthy and vibrant. So, if you're interested, keen, we're going to need you to go, yes please, and then I will put you in the grid. Oh, I start on Thursday, by the way. I've been meaning to get this video up, but I've been so busy making all these cards, so whoever wishes to read them. And that's actually taking up all my time. That's not what healing's about, actually. Healing's about me sitting and being functional and doing this. But I know that some of you are going to want some of that information, and I want it accessible to you. I know where to find it, and I know how to put it together. So I'm trying to get that option ready for you. I'm almost there. So I want to start on Thursday. I'll finish on Friday at 5. The reason why I want to, so Thursday at 3, Friday at 5, because I want, I just seen with the other client that it might just be nicer that when I finish the cycle that you're actually going into a weekend, and that you can have the integration time and the downtime. I want to be doing quite a lot of the meridians while you're sleeping, so as you wake up, the body's already processing some of the stuff. You might not be in the greatest of moods on Friday morning because I've been manipulating you a little bit and recorrecting you like a good massage. So there could be that, or you could be feeling absolutely amazing. But by the end of the Friday, you're going to be ready to have weekend and just allow your whole body to integrate for 2 days. I don't want you actually at the grindstone and at work and trying to deal with all of this subtle changes. I just want it to flow through you. So that's why I've decided to do those times. I'm not going to send you every 2 hours. Now we begin, now we complete. Not going to disturb you. I'm just going to get on with it, stay awake for 24 hours, have fun with it, and see the results. Okay, thanks for listening to me. 26 minutes. I'm so sorry, but there was a lot of information. Bye.